Born to lose, built to win. I grew up in a world surrounded by fear and failure. People who said I can't rather than I can. I won't rather than I will. Success was on low demand, and these fears influenced everybody's behavior. So how does my life relate to sports and exercise psychology and what I want to be? Well, for starters, I've been an athlete my whole life, so the study of how the mind affects sports performance pertains to me. As for my future, I want to be my own boss, run my own business, be more than just a 9-to-5 employee. Ever since I was young, I wanted to play in the NFL, and that's all I ever thought about. Once I participated, my psychological development was demonstrated through my obsession because football was all I ever talked about. So my desire to succeed, seeing my family struggle, and being told I'm not good enough were a few of many psychological factors that pushed me to work until I couldn't breathe, fight to burst out this bubble, and never give up on a dream that had me pulling more weight than a tractor. And I'm not talking about pounds or kilograms when I say weight. I'm talking about fear, doubt, lack of self-confidence, and hate. Hate from people trying to kill my vibe and shake my pride, trying to knock me out my groove to change my mood, tell me that I'll never be, to take away my energy, put me down and demean my dream to lower my self-esteem. But they forget, my will to win was an obsession. So no matter what they did or said, they could never knock me into a state of depression. They wanted to lower my ability to cope with stress, but I thrive when it's all on the line, and I strive to be the best. Funny thing in life is full of tests, and I swear, life has given me more exams than a college professor. But I always tried to grade high, especially when my mind was surrounded by stressors. That's why I'm writing this paper, because my original dream was derailed, but not by the haters. It was unfortunate health circumstances that caused me to fail, so I had to find a new way to prevail. Now I'm here on a new path, and cannot afford to lose again. I'm born to create an empire. I'm driven by the past, inspired by the future. That's why I'm born to lose, but built to win. So now I'm going to give you a little background on my career choice. Becoming an entrepreneur is not easy. It takes a lot of patience and poise. So what drives me to become something more than a little background noise? But one idea is trait, which means behavior resides within the individual. And sure, I'm highly self-motivated, but there's still a few residuals that make me unpredictable. So another thought is situation, which means you're molded by your social environment. And yeah, my culture and family probably play the biggest role in my life story assignment, but if you're only motivated by your surroundings, there's still a few requirements that need to escape confinement. So the final approach is the combination of both, also known as interaction. I believe this is the path you must take if you want to build something great. Because if you're self-driven only, there will be an infraction and a lack of social satisfaction. And if your environment is your sole source of fuel, then there will be too much distraction that will lead to a chain reaction of individual inaction that will cause progress to slide back and forth like a joint retraction. So besides being self-driven and molded by your surroundings, you have to work hard to build something that's truly astounding. You must take care of the little things and pay attention to the details, and keep studying the latest material on training methodologies, business marketing, while increasing revenue and maintaining retail. So once again, to make it as a gym owner, it will take a lot more than money and an education. You must be prepared to make sacrifices, lose relations, and understand the sole purpose of your creation is to serve others without aggravation, no matter how much agitation they may bring to your station. And when times change, you must be open-minded and make adaptations to avoid stagnation. What about behind the scenes where it all began? Because I guarantee you, being an entrepreneur wasn't the original plan. Where does the fuel of my fire come from? Where were the dots connected? What is my motivation? How is my intensity and effort directed? They say motivation has 3 indicators. Number 1, choice. Will I choose to be great? Number 2, effort. I give enough effort to go around, but still skeptics want to hate. And 3, persistence. I'll never give up. My drive is unreal. All gas, no brakes. But in order to tell my story, I have to start from the beginning, and I'll use the descriptive approach. Here are my reasons. My family struggled. We grew up in poverty. There was no such thing as a winning season. My father worked hard every day to give us the world, and even though it wasn't much, it was enough to make us believe it. More than what we were given. That we could do better than how we were living. This thought carried me through my dream of playing ball. Through multiple surgeries, blood, sweat, tears, and adversity, I was ready to put that helmet on every single fall. I made every challenge optimal, battled through every obstacle, and every chance I had, I maximized my participation. So when they told me to come down and have realistic expectations, I failed to listen because I had my eyes on the prize in the sky and I couldn't afford to lose concentration. So outside of ball, I wasn't easily aroused and fun was minimal. They say I need to add variety to my options, stop being one-dimensional. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Don't reach for things that are invisible. But I'm a dreamer, so those messages to me were subliminal. And although it seemed like I was being an individual, I just didn't want to hang out at the bottom with everybody else. I was trying to reach the pinnacle. So I used my past to structure my dream. And once I was stripped of the one thing I loved and fought for every day, the world was no longer what it seemed. But I had to be quick to change scenes. Lights, camera, action. No time to rehearse. I was still driven when my ride to the top died, so I had to jumpstart my new passion as I watched the old one leave in a hearse. Now that you know more about why I've chosen this path of owning my own business, you must understand that nothing comes easy, especially in the industry of fitness. Most people are not self-motivated when they step into a gym. In fact, for them, they're going out on a limb. They're treading dark waters and unknown territory. trying to push past the demons that pulled them down into purgatory. The goal here is to change their cognitive evaluation for themselves. Use extrinsic motivation to uplift their souls so they don't feel like old toys collecting dust on dirty shelves. We bring them to the realization that they can be better, and we inspire them through passion and care. Lead by example through our words and build confidence so they can dare to be more and in turn inspire others to go from hiding in the back to leading the pack as the pace setter. So when someone full of doubt and fear walks into my business looking low on shine, this is how we will teach them to embrace the grind and hopefully move this person into an intrinsic state of mind. So what happens when your gym starts to become a performance climate, full of ego-oriented people that won't stay silent, and whose perception of ability is based on social comparison and think it's imperative to outperform others and take all the shots like Kobe Bryant? You see, the goal is not to just get everybody on board the flight, but to help them all become pilots. The achievement goal theory tells how people define their ability. So do we want people to brag and boast to hide their insecurities? Nah, we want people to break barriers by building self-confidence and embracing their impurities. We want people to stop being afraid and find comfort in a world full of instability. We want everybody to learn, improve, and master a skill to become task-oriented. We want to see positive attitudes help increase effort, and that will happen if a mastery environment is incorporated. So how do we get people to go from ego to task, performance to mastery, get the passion to become the pilot? Well, we can change goal orientation by changing the climate. At the end of the day, when owning a gym, you will see more issues than Sports Illustrated. People becoming stressed, full of different emotions, happy, sad, excited, or frustrated. The question is, how do we change distress to eustress? How do we make a bad situation optimal, get people to appraise something that makes them depressed? How do we elicit a positive response from a negative preset and get a destructive behavior to reset? Once again, we have to get people to believe in themselves and find that sense of self-efficacy. Use exercise as a stress management tool and positive feedback as incentive to change their fate and help them rewrite their legacy. So this is the culture I want cultivated through hard work and dedication without the need of glorification. Because I believe most problems can be solved if people are intrinsically motivated and the mastery climate is built from task orientation. My whole life I fought to reach an individual goal, and through thick and thin I stuck to it, no adhesion. But as time went on, life knocked me down and my vision changed, and the new dream evolves a little more group cohesion. Now the purpose of what I want to do is to inspire and serve others, internalize everything around me, and change the moral behavior that surrounds we to help clear out the clutter. Structurally develop a reason that brings healthy dialogue among sisters, brothers, fathers, and mothers, and hopefully create a balance that speaks clearly without stutter. However, in order to reach this point, I must show all the qualities of being a great leader, take the pyramid of success to another level, and help everybody from top tier to the bottom feeders. I must break down and regrow the branches of wooden, but I'm not talking cedar. And I must also lead by example, give everybody a visual perception perspective, always stay true to my own words and give a positive directive. I must capture everybody's attention so they can gain the most retention, to reproduce the skills they need to create an extension of themselves they've never seen, not to mention keep them motivated so they can take their goals to a new dimension. This is what it takes to be an influential leader and role model. I have to give everything I have every day, put the ship on full throttle, because as a gym owner, you have to know when to be strict and when to coddle. I have to constantly push, motivate, and inspire people to fight their demons, because most people in your gym only have nightmares and are no longer dreaming. So yeah, to do what I want to do is going to take work, but it's nothing new to me. I'm not afraid to chase my dream, no matter how unclear it may be. I've been beaten down and knocked off my path over and over again, but because of the constant trials, I'm stronger than ever and I've grown tougher, thicker skin. So I'm going to create an empire. I'm driven by the past, inspired by the future. That's why I'm born to lose, but built to win.